Good afternoon, you lovely lot of the tube. Just old me on my little old boat, talking about little old boaty stuff. Right. So basically, I've had a bit of a change of heart with my crutch situation. I was basically making the frame, and I was going to put some canvas over the frame, like standard boats. But I'm kind of thinking, how often will I really be sitting out there in the summer? I mean, if you live in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the countryside, you can park up a chair on a towpath and just sit there, so it's fine. So the idea I'm thinking I'm going to do is box in the crutch now. I'm going to attach plywood on each side of it with some brackets and glue and stuff. And then I'm going to cover it with waterproof plastic, just to waterproof it completely. And then I'm going to shiplap over it. I saw on eBay somebody had a similar boat to mine, which is a fiberglass top narrowboat, and the front bow, I think that's how you pronounce it, bow, I don't know. I'm not really up to date with boat jargon, so whatever I say, I'm assuming you understand. But they turned the front part of their boat basically into like a shed, looked like a garden shed. They had made a plywood frame, and then they shiplapped, you know, that kind of wood that most sheds are made of. It overlaps like that, and then the next one overlaps, and the next one overlaps. I think it's called shiplap, something like that. You just tack it on with nails. They've done that and made the front look like a kind of shed, you know, and put flowers on the top and stuff like that, attached the light to the front. So I think I'm going to go with that idea, close it off permanently as a space. I might put some porthole windows in there, I don't think it really matters. And I might make that like a little library or an art space, or somewhere to watercolour, somewhere to do acrylic painting or drawing, somewhere I can do some music, play my guitar, record with a laptop, maybe watch a movie in there, put some fairy lights up in there, and then paint it with Ronsil, because they've got some really nice modern colours, and they just look really nice, you know. And I just like the way it looked. It was just a random browse on eBay, and I found it, and I was like, that's what I thought about in the beginning. That's actually what I decided to do in the beginning. And then I decided to go, well, you know, when I sell the boat, it should probably look traditional. But I think, characteristically, your boat should really look like none other, so that it becomes quite distinctive, and the persons or people that want to buy it will buy it because they love the way it looks, and not my tongue's tied, not like every other boat. So I think I'm going to go with that idea. Plywood, then plastic, then shiplap, and I'll use some really strong sealant, epoxy and stuff like that, just to keep it waterproofed and watertight. Put some fairy lights inside it, you know, or LED lights. You know, there's lots of options for lighting inside boats now that are like 5 volts, so don't require much power at all. Maybe a library I could turn it into, sitting there with books and stuff. So that's my idea at the moment, change of plan kind of idea. So the next video I'm going to put up is probably going to be me showing the frame and then attaching sides to it. I could even fiberglass over it, actually, with fiberglass and fiberglass resin, and sand it down and make it smooth. I've got some fiberglass paint left over. Pardon me, my hay fever is awful. But I think I'm going to go with the shed idea. I quite like the idea of the sort of outdoor urban shed look. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I talking about? But I quite like the idea of a little shed. I used to have an allotment for 6 years, and I built a shed out of pallets. So it's a bit of a tribute if I did that. It's quite nice, because I really missed that old allotment. It was the first one we ever got. and I spent a lot of time there, and it was like an escape from the city. So I think I'm going to do that. That's the idea. So the next video I put up is not going to be about me measuring a cover, because that was going to be a headache, man. Honestly, like, we would have had to buy fabric, measure it up, go to a local sewing place, get them to sew it, you know, peg it up, take it back, hope it fits. If it doesn't, bring it back, unstitch it, redo it. And to get one made for the front of the boat, you're looking at 700 quid, and all it is like someone with a decent sewing machine and fabric. But they charge the earth. For the other side, the stern or whatever it is, if you want a cover made for that, you're looking at about 1.5 grand. If you want a pram hood that folds down, which I think looks a bit silly, 2.5 grand. For a steel pole and some plastic windows and some dodgy fabric that only lasts about 3 or 4 years. So you're looking at 1.5 grand to 2 grand for the back, and then you're looking at 500 to 700 quid for a cover for the front. I'm not paying that, so I'm just going to go with the idea of the little shed on the front of the boat and make it into a little entertaining space. So the next video you're going to see will be me showing me throwing bits of wood together and sticking loads of brackets and screws on it, basically, you know, because I'm not a chippy. That's something I've noticed by doing this boat, right? That's the one thing I've noticed by doing this boat, is there are a lot of things I've done that I could have done so much better, you know. And if I ever buy a new boat and it needs woodwork doing on it, mate, I'm buying the DIY 101 woodwork or wood skills handbook from Amazon, right? And I'm doing everything without brackets. I hate brackets. They make things look awful, you know, and they look like you haven't really thought it through properly. Do you know what I mean? They're handy, but they just look a bit sort of like you could have probably thought a bit harder on that and done it better. You just lopped up a bit of wood, some screws, cut the brackets and slapped it up, you know. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like someone who's very skilled. So that's probably what my shed bit's going to look like. But it is going to be a shed, so it don't really matter, does it? You know, so long as it's there and it keeps the rain out and it does its job. Right, so I need to take some oxygen in because I've been talking and rambling. There we go. And I'll see you on the next video, and I'll update what the sheddy box thingamajiggy doodah looks like. Alright, see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.